Welcome back to this week's Mounting Yard preview. This weekend we're racing at Flemington where the Internationals are the headline act in the Group 1 Turnbull Stakes. Race 4 is the Group 2 Edward Manifold Stakes for the 3-year-old fillies over the mile, and seen most of these runners at their last starts. Sonic Boom, Toey is normal for this girl. Legacies, she's a really big question mark for mine. She'd improved drastically from her first up parade into her second up. I had her as a clear pick of the yard, but as we saw, she was quite disappointing on that occasion. So there was no excuse from the mounting yard, so your form is definitely going to be your best guide for Legacies. Nadachi had a bit of strengthening up to come last start. She was quite lean on the smaller side, not having as much condition as I'd like to see, and she was a touch wintry in her coat, so plenty of room for improvement with Nadachi. Kanasana, warm last start and ran well, so don't be deterred if you see her sweating up pre-race. And Poifect laid this girl first up, was really underwhelmed with her parade. She was quite dull and wintry in her coat. She was on the lighter side as well, lacking a little bit of strength, and she was quite toey and worked up, but this definitely didn't stop her. She ran a really good third on that occasion, so interested to see how she's improved heading into Saturday. Race 5 is the Group 2 Danehill Stakes for the 3-year-olds over the 1100 metres down the famous Flemington Straight. I Am Unstoppable. He is such a magnificent beast to look at in the mounting yard. He's enormous. He's got so much power and strength and just quality about him. He can get quite warm and he can get a little bit toey, so don't be concerned if you see that from him. And just due to the size of him, he's always going to have a big barrel of a belly, but he's hard fit here, third up. Archo Nacho. Toey is normal for him, and he had a fair bit of a fitness improvement to come from his first up parade despite winning on that occasion, so plenty of room for improvement for Archo Nacho. Stretton Angel laid this horse last start, first up, ran well but had improvement to come. Very wintry in the coat, lacking a little bit of that nice healthy colour I like to see in a horse that's first up. Forward fitness wasn't so much my concern. It was more so the coat and that it was lacking a little bit of strength. So looking to see Stretton Angel a bit brighter in the coat and a bit stronger. Race 6 is a Group 2 for the mares over the 1400 metres, and Princess Grace is the horse everyone will be talking about in this field. And having seen her a few times now, I've got a good grasp on her, and she's certainly not what you'd ideally like to see a horse parade, but very normal for her to get very, very, very warm in the mounting yard. She actually drips. She's such a free sweater. But she's actually quite relaxed, which is, I think, the most important thing. She's not wasting energy. She's not getting above herself, which is key. She's clearly just a free sweater, and that's her way of cooling herself down. So don't be deterred if you see her really hot in the yard. And she's also on the smaller side. She's quite a lean, light type of horse. So hopefully she's still got a bit of condition on her, but hard fit, and yet don't be concerned if she's warm. Race 8 is the Group 1 Turnbull Stakes over the 2000 metres, the feature event on the card at Flemington, and I am so excited to get into this mounting yard and to see the internationals as well as multiple of the key spring contenders coming up. And Romantic Warrior, this 6-year-old gelding having his first start in Australia from Hong Kong. James McDonald down from Sydney to ride. He's had 10 starts, has had 14 starts, won 10 of them, and won nearly $15 million in prize money. He is a superstar, and I'm so excited to lay my eyes on him. Gold Trip, loved the way he returned this campaign. He was really forward fitness-wise first up. He had a summer coat, had improvement to come, bearing in mind he was a little bit on the hippier side with some strengthening up to come, and he certainly will take lots of fitness benefit from the run. But the key thing with Gold Trip was he was really healthy in the way in which he returned. He was bright, he was alert, he was quite purposeful in the way he was walking around, and he had that really rich colour to his coat. So key and positive signs from Gold Trip. Francesco Guardi had a lot of fitness improvement to come last start, so hoping to see him strip fitter on Saturday. West Wind Blows is the other key international runner making his Australian debut from the UK. He's had 6 weeks since he last raced over in Europe, so interested to see how much residual fitness he has and how he's travelled. Also something key for Romantic Warrior. It's really important when we've got these internationals having their first starts to see how they've acclimatised, and I think you're going to notice that mostly from their coat and also their mannerisms. So hoping to see a really healthy colour to their coat, and also that they're nice and relaxed and look to have settled in and aren't getting too above themselves. So Westbourne Blows is also a very exciting horse, this 5-year-old gelding. So looking forward to seeing him. Osipenko looked spot on last start. He just needs to maintain that condition to be in competitive order. And Solcombe, Warm and bad walk is normal for him. He has a really funny stride. He kind of picks up his back right leg a little bit funny, but that's just him. It's very normal. Don't be concerned if you see that. And he also had fitness improvement to come last start. He was quite big in condition and also had a wintry coat that was clipped. So fair bit of improvement to come from him, but genuinely cannot wait to see these internationals. Race 9 is the Group 2 Gilgai Stakes over the 1200 metres, once again down the Flemington Straighten. Although he won last start, Star Patrol had lots of improvement to come after that run. He was quite big in condition. He was still a little bit wintry in his coat. He had 2 strappers. He was quite alert and a little bit fresh in the manner in which he parades. So looking forward to seeing the improvement he's taken now that he's got that run under the belt, and he was just so dynamic on that occasion. So he's certainly a very exciting horse that I can't wait to see. Say Magique, I was really underwhelmed with the way she returned first up. I'd seen her almost all of her career starts, and she's a horse I had a really good handle on, and particularly first up, she was much leaner than she had been previously. Her coat was very wintry, very rough, and just hadn't quite come through in its colour yet. And she wasn't moving as well as I'd like to see. So I don't do form. I'm not really sure how her run translated on that occasion, so I'll leave that up to you, but she certainly paraded with plenty of improvement to come. That's a wrap on this week's Mounting Yard preview. Really excited about Saturday's racing at headquarters, highlighted by the internationals West Wind Blows and Romantic Warrior, 2 superstars, particularly Romantic Warrior, so can't wait to see them in the flesh, and hopefully they live up to the expectations.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.